Good afternoon from Portland, Oregon. I believe this is going to be the start of a new video.
Yeah.
We are walking up to Mount Tabor, which is a volcano here in Portland that is extinct, and we're going to go to the park. We are in Portland because I'm going to get on a plane at 6 a.m. tomorrow to fly to Denver and then fly to Raleigh, North Carolina to try and buy a new van. So stay with this journey to see how it pans out. We worked a deal over the phone. It took 6 hours of our time yesterday. In theory, the van is being held for us as long as I prove that I had a flight booked, which I did send to them. And we went and got a cashier's check today so that we can try and pay these guys when we get there.
When you get there.
When I get there.
I will be driving
our
van.
Hold on, let's get across the street.
I'll be driving our van to Colorado by myself.
Yeah.
And Greg will meet me there with the new van, and we're gonna start working on it.
Yeah, as long as this all goes as planned.
Yeah.
If not, I'm gonna be in North Carolina with no vehicle.
Stranded.
And nothing to do.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Here we go. 4:20 in the morning. She's putting her eyes in.
Hi.
It's been a long day. Just landed in Raleigh, North Carolina. Had an hour layover in Denver. And I'm gonna get picked up by the Ram dealership here in a minute at the airport. And then we will be hopefully going to buy this van. So hopefully we don't have any issues. I'd like to get on the road hopefully tonight, because Hurricane Sandy is supposedly now just a tropical storm, but is going to be turning and heading east and heading straight across the direction I'm going. And I don't want to get stuck in hail in a brand new car, or tornadoes, or don't even feel like driving in nasty rain. So yeah, stay tuned, see how this goes. Hopefully it's smooth. Probably gonna be really echoey. New van, empty, or blank canvas, depending on how you look at it. I got 13 hours and 40 minutes of driving ahead of me per my phone to Chicago. Probably make it there tomorrow. Gonna cruise for a bit here. Pretty tired. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning out in where was that? Portland, Oregon this morning. Stuff's flying away already. And yeah, so I'm beat. But we'll get it there, get set up, hopefully gas station with a little hammock action tonight.
Alright, so I'm about 3 hours into today's drive, I think. I dropped Greg off at the airport at around 4:45 in Portland and got on the road immediately. Somehow made it out of Portland without my Google Maps even working, so that's a miracle. And have just been driving east for a long time. Yeah, been pretty uneventful. You guys will laugh, but this is the first time I've had to put gas in the van myself. It's not difficult, but it's funny because in Oregon you're not allowed to pump your own gas. But the first gas station I went to, it was so early, I think it was like 5:30, that they weren't even open yet, and I got to pump my own gas, which is nice. I prefer to do it myself. Otherwise, yeah, saw lots of wildlife on the road this morning, and I'm gonna try to drive maybe another 3 hours today. I've got some other stuff that I want to do, so I'm just stopping for gas and breakfast, and yeah, should be a good day. I don't know how to use this thing. Edited a video today, got a bunch of stuff done along with driving. looking into more components for the new van. So tomorrow I'm going to do some more research and drive some more, and I'll try to show you more of the lack of scenery that is eastern, well, I guess I'm in Idaho now, southern Idaho.
Okay, so night one in the new van. I made it to Virginia. I think I'm up in the mountains now. Find out more in the morning. I mean, definitely in the hills, I can see them, but don't know what it looks like. Made it to our favorite truck stop, Love's. They've been good to us, so I keep coming back to them. And so now I'm going to try and figure out how to best sleep in here and try to block out some light. I think it's going to be a pretty loud night, but it's been a long day, so I think I will hopefully sleep pretty good and then head towards Chicago to see my family tomorrow. First attempt is going to be the hammock, because that seems like it'll be more comfortable than the floor. So hopefully I can get it wound up here pretty easily. I think that looks like it's gonna work. That's pretty creepy. Good morning. Got an update. Good morning. Update for you. Don't hang the hammock in your new van. The van doesn't really like it, and so it was trying to bend the metal out just a little bit, so I didn't end up doing that because I didn't want to bend the metal all over the place. So instead, floor. Alright, 10-hour, 40-minute drive to Chicago. Should be there by dinner.
Hello! Day 2 of my journey to Colorado. I spent the whole morning in the McDonald's parking lot uploading a new video for you guys. And now I'm gonna hit the road, but I have one last stop first. Grocery outlet. These aren't in Colorado, so I gotta hit one more before I leave Idaho and don't see them for a long, long time. Just another gas stop. I'm only a couple of hours in for the day today. Got probably another 3 or 4 more hours to go. It hasn't been too bad. Southern Idaho is pretty boring, but got these podcasts keeping me busy. Right now I'm listening to Serial, the 3rd season. One thing that's really nice about stopping at truck stops to fuel up is have these giant rods for windshield wiper thingies, cleaners. What do you even call that? So I'm gonna do the van because that's awesome. It's really hard for me to reach the whole thing. So with that, I don't have to climb up on the bumper at all.
It earned commendations.
Yes, that tunnel was the border for West Virginia. So I'm now in West Virginia, and the speed limit went from 50 or 70 to 55. All right, still in West Virginia. I would not think that this is the fastest way to Chicago, but I'm going where the Google's telling me to go. I actually turned on tolls in my mapping because I don't usually do that. It told me it shaved an hour off. I'm $12 into tolls already. I don't know how much more it's going to be, but as you can see outside here, it's got me driving down some road that's 45-mile-an-hour speed limit for 81 more miles.
How long do we keep spending before we face reality? And talk about the connection to climate change here and what this means for these areas moving forward.
Just pulling through Dayton, Ohio. Haven't stopped since this morning. Trying to beat this tropical storm, I think is what they're calling it still. And I should be hopefully clear to the north, but it does look like I am coming into a wall of some kind of storm front. Maybe it's creating weather in different areas. So I'm about to head north towards Toledo, it's telling me. I think hopefully I'll go straight north, and the further north I get, I think the better off I'll be. So fingers crossed that we don't hit any nasty weather. Get out of it.
I just turned around in the middle of the street because I got to show you guys something. Greg and I have always assumed that living in a van would exclude us from having chickens, but this guy is proving me wrong. Chickens, right there, under the fifth wheel. I had driven by this spot thinking that might be an okay place to sleep. I think that guy lives here though, so keep going. Go back by for a second look. This is GoPro. I have no idea how good the quality of footage is. There's no screen on it. It's super old. So we're gonna try again. This is home for the night. I had originally found a spot across this reservoir. I don't know if you can see it there. There's some semis on an overlook there. I found that spot on iOverlander, but once I drove by, I didn't really like the look of it. Just, it's kind of crowded. Truckers, I imagine they're coming and going all night. So I used satellite view on the map to check this spot out, and I think it's gonna work. In a pretty flat spot here, and got a great view of the lake just in time for sunset.
Gassing up, leaving out of Chicago suburbs, and the 2019 Ram has the same issue as the 2017 Ram, where it doesn't want to fill up all the way without shutting off the automatic nozzle. Got 867 miles to go, so I think I made about 100 miles so far. I'm tired, and I might not make it very far today, but plan on getting back tomorrow. And there's not a whole lot but corn out here. This is Chicago to Denver is probably one of the worst drives. Done it, I think 4 times in my life now, and it's pretty miserable every time. I said I'd never do it again, but here I am doing it again. Should be rolling into Iowa here in a moment. Don't know if Iowa or Nebraska is worse to drive across, but I think Nebraska is. I'll give you an update later. I can't really remember. I'm going to be crossing the good old Mississippi River. Turtle was just going across the street. Wildlife in Iowa already. He did not get ran over, but he's probably now walking into the concrete median, which at some point he will turn around and walk back the other way. And it may not end well for him, but I hope him safe crossing, because turtles are cool. Oh! Also, I'm making good time. I think. I got 9 hours left, but I feel pretty good. I said I was tired before. Feeling pretty good. It's 6 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 7 o'clock Central. Means I've been going 5 hours already. Maybe? No. Yeah. Been going 5 hours. I got 9 to go, so yeah, that's right, 14 hours total. And by the math I'm doing right now, you'd probably think I'm really tired still. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm gonna try and go another 4 or 5 today, which will give me only 4 or 5 tomorrow, which would be nice. 2 tanks of gas from outside of Chicago. Still cruising along, and we are in the next state. The next state is the good one, though. Be back in Colorado shortly. I got 8 hours. Sorry, I turned the light off on you. I don't know if it's even working. 8 hours left to go. I'm gonna try and knock out 3 or 4 more of them tonight. So we'll see how that pans out, because it is getting dark. It's about 11 p.m. local time here. I think it's Gothenburg, Nebraska, something like that. I'm gonna try and get some sleep. I thought I picked a quiet place behind a gas station that's closed. There's some semis nearby that have their engines running. They're not too loud, but you might be able to hear. I guess there's a freight train right by here. So I'm pretty tired though. I drove 10 hours today, so I'll probably be able to sleep. Left my parents' house, and this floor back here is kind of slick, but this is the last of the stuff I had at their house, other than some old baseball cards and whatnot that I left behind. But I figured, you know, I'm not in Chicago very often. I'd pick up my last of my stuff, since I have a giant empty van, and take it back to Colorado and put it in storage. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get a little bit of sleep. I got 4.5 hours left to drive in the morning. So I'm hoping to make it home for breakfast. Jess said that she got some good tortillas at the farmer's market today, so I'm excited about that, because I've just been eating junk food, and I haven't eaten all day. I shouldn't say that. I haven't eaten half the day. I had brownies for dinner.
Alright, day 3 on the road by myself. Today's the home stretch. I have 6.5 hours of driving until I get to my dad's house. And it looks to be a boring drive. For those of you who have ever done I-80 in southern Wyoming, you know my pain. got off I-80 and pulled over in Cheyenne for a potty break. Thank God, man, I-80 sucks. Somehow it's really flat and boring, but also quite hilly. It's windy and it is crammed with semis. So I am within an hour of my dad and stepmom's house, and I'm getting really excited to see them. It's gonna be awesome. Also, I just kind of want to be out of the car. Well, I made it. I'm here. I showered. That was nice. It was my first real shower in over 2 weeks. So I finally actually feel clean. I just wanted to like summarize the journey for you guys because it is a bit different compared to what we normally do. The first point being that this is the first time Greg and I have been apart for more than 8 hours in several years. And it's fine. It's just weird traveling without someone, or just like doing things without someone that you've always done with someone, and doing it alone, and that's just an adjustment. It's not like I didn't have any like groundbreaking like realizations, just that it's nice to have someone to do those things with. That's one of the reasons why we got into this in the first place, is to spend more quality time together doing the things that we love together. So number 2 is that this whole concept of solo female van life, which might be a little played out, but there's also some legitimacy to the fact that females on the road do have to be careful, and it's the unfortunate nature of things that predators and evil people exist, and they're out there, and something can happen, whether it's day or night. You know, people get taken at truck stops and gas stations, and on trails, all kinds of random things. So just being aware, and you know, I consider myself to be kind of a hyper aware person, but camping alone and doing all of this alone definitely heightens that sense of awareness. And while I wouldn't say I was like living in fear by any means, I definitely did a few things differently. So I wanted to go over those things with you. Number 1 being that Greg and I normally have stuff sitting in the driver's seat while we sleep. It's kind of this like rotating pile that goes from the bed to the driver's seat and back and forth. I didn't do that. I put it on the floor in the passenger seat so that the driver's seat would be open in case I needed to leave quickly. Left the keys in the ignition. Obviously locked the doors at night, which we always do. That's not new. But yeah, just wanted to be set up to be able to leave a spot quickly if I felt uncomfortable, or if someone was knocking and I couldn't verify who they were, etc. I didn't really venture far from the van at truck stops and gas stations. It just didn't feel like... No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to call attention to the fact that I was alone. So just pumped the gas, got back in, pulled around to a parking spot for navigation and whatnot. Peed in my pee bottle rather than going inside. That may be a little paranoid, I don't know, but that's what I felt safe doing. So otherwise, yeah, when I got to a campsite, I texted Greg immediately and told him where I was. You know, kind of looked around and assessed the situation. I feel like I have a pretty good traveler's intuition. When I get a feeling about a place, I just leave, and I do that regardless of whether I'm with Greg or not, and I trust my gut in those situations. So yeah, in worst case, we have ways for me to defend myself. Greg and I are just always looking out for ourselves, so that's important. Traveling is great and it's very fun, but we do have to be careful because there are people out there that could potentially do us harm. So yeah, all that unfun stuff aside, Greg will be here in a day or two, and we will show you guys the new van and get started on that huge project. It's going to be super fun, and I am looking forward to seeing him very much.
accidentally woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. Freezing cold because it dropped down to the 50s last night and I didn't really bring much of a blanket with me. So I got on the road. So I'm going to be home by 9 a.m.